Arvind Kejriwal's surprise praise for Prime Minister Modi came as he mounted an all-out assault on the Bharatiya Janata Party. The sting offensive was followed by another attack on the Lieutenant Governor, the threat to petition the President, the Election Commission and to file an FIR. But the big Supreme Court verdict on Delhi's future never came. As the Aam Aadmi Party and Bharatiya Janata Party clashed, the court gave a one-month extension to Delhi's power games, posting the matter for October the 10th.
The Aam Aadmi Party's sting tape adding the final twist to the run-up to Delhi's D-Day. But then it ended in an anti-climax. After setting the final date to dispose of the matter, the Supreme Court granted 4 more weeks for the wrangle to continue.
Despite the Supreme Court expressing its urgency, the centre was able to buy itself 1 more month on the issue of Delhi government formation, informing the Constitution bench that it is a long-drawn political process and the matter is currently under the consideration of the President. All this while the Aam Aadmi Party hit a setback when the Supreme Court refused to accept its affidavit with regards to a sting operation conducted on a BJP leader, but giving it the liberty to bring it up in the next state of hearing, which is the 10th of October.
And the games intensified as the Supreme Court spoke.
जहां तक आम आदमी का सवाल है कि हमको सरकार नहीं बनाने देने के लिए बुलाना चाहिए, वो ये कहने वाले कौन होते हैं? क्या उन्होंने सेकंड लार्जेस्ट दल होने के नाते दिल्ली में सरकार नहीं बनाई क्या?
If he is openly seen to be favoring BJP, we are not attacking any individual, we are not attacking any post, but we are attacking malpractices.
The Aam Aadmi Party also released the Lieutenant Governor's letter that unleashed the raging political storm in the capital. In the letter, Najib Jung clearly favours an invitation to the BJP and also talks of a trust vote in 1 week, if the BJP accepts that challenge. Sources at the Lieutenant Governor's office refuted the Aam Aadmi Party's allegations, claiming he was only following the mandates set out for him by the Supreme Court. But amidst all the politicking, the BJP is super confident of forming the government and its Delhi boss let it slip out finally.
Thank you very much. Okay, यार अभी आज ये सरकार बन रही है. Thank you.
The day's record shows that the BJP is bruised but still spoiling for the final assault. And the Aam Aadmi Party, with its stars cut out, the party now plans to meet the President to stall the BJP. It also plans to lodge an FIR using the sting tape. The final offensive would be to petition the Election Commission to act against the BJP using the sting as proof. The BJP for now is even willing to paint its stung MLA as an Aam Aadmi Party agent.
मिले हुए हैं, उनके व्यवहार से, उनकी बातचीत से ऐसा लगता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मिलाने के लिए दोनों मिले हुए हैं और दोनों नूरा कुश्ती लड़ रहे हैं.
The Aam Aadmi Party did indeed manage to rain on the BJP's parade. The net impact of their sting operation is that the process of government formation in Delhi has been stretched. But the battle is far from over. It will have to pull out another ace to stall the Bharatiya Janata Party's plans. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
And now let's shift focus towards the tragedy unfolding in Jammu and Kashmir. As floodwaters continue to wreak havoc in the state, it's a race against time for the administration and the forces to get those stranded in the valley to safety. The fate of thousands is still uncertain, but hope floats amidst tragedy.
Most of Srinagar is still underwater. The Jhelum still in spate, turning the city into a gigantic lake. The VVIP areas of the city, the Secretariat, the police headquarters, the Chief Minister's office, all submerged.
If you can see in these visuals on the right side is the Civil Secretariat where the Chief Minister's office is situated. Then there is the High Court of Srinagar city where a lot of people are still stranded.
Headlines Today visited the only functional hospital in the city where affected people have been thronging for medical support and help.
there is a lot of shortage of not only of manpower but also of essentials. This is one of the hospitals in the city where a lot of people I'm told, are coming right since morning. They were coming.
Through your channel, I want to convey to our authorities, whosoever it is, whether it's an army, it's a government, somehow send some fuel over here, because this is the only functional hospital from this side, catering to this side of the population.
Multiple relief agencies in Srinagar have been carrying out rescue and relief operations. The valley remains connected to the mainland only through the treacherous Manali-Leh route.
Right now here, look at this chopper. It has come here to rescue people. There are thousands of people still stranded in the adjoining buildings. On the left side, the NDRF teams have brought in some people in their boats. Look at them, they're rowing their boats, motorboats.
The flood situation has eased somewhat in Jammu and Poonch areas. However, connectivity still remains an issue, with roads and bridges washed away. Providing relief material to the affected, a mammoth task.
As of now, the upper reaches are still in a bad situation. The Rising Star Corps and the Tiger Division are providing all the help required for the people in the upper reaches.
As you can see, the helicopter right now is hovering over a place where a makeshift bridge is being made. The army engineer columns are hard at work. They are trying to provide connectivity to all those areas which remain cut off because of this heavy flood.
There is some relief in store for those stranded. The water levels are receding. The rains halting for the next 72 hours. The army establishing temporary communication links with the other parts of the country. But the challenge remains reaching out to 4 lakh still stranded. While our heroes risk their lives once again for their countrymen. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
It was 6 days of non-stop torrential rain in Jammu and Kashmir. It was as if hell had opened its very floodgates, leaving large swathes of land submerged, cutting off road and rail links and bringing bridges crashing down. This is what's left of paradise.
Death, destruction, devastation. Jammu and Kashmir has not witnessed nature's fury of this magnitude in the last 60 years. Torrential rain has submerged the valley, just as it had 6 decades ago. The paradise is now lost. Hit by the worst floods in 60 years, Jammu and Kashmir is now submerged. The Dal Lake, known for its glorious beauty, is now overflowing with furious water. The famous houseboats have been swallowed by flood water, and the picturesque lake that's been a popular tourist spot has now turned deadly. Srinagar's famous Lal Chowk, that has witnessed many protests and demonstrations, is now deserted. There's just water everywhere. Treating those who've survived the disaster is proving to be a monumental task. Srinagar's GB Pant Hospital too is submerged. Floodwater entered the hospital complex, leaving doctors and patients stranded on upper floors. The Jhelum River, swollen by heavy rain, has flooded large parts of Srinagar. The civil secretariat in the heart of Srinagar too has been rendered completely inaccessible. An army headquarters is also under water, along with some other government buildings, while roads and bridges throughout the region have been cut or washed away. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
And it's now over to Simi Pasha, who gets us a 360-degree analysis.
Jammu and Kashmir facing the worst floods the state has witnessed in more than 60 years. Capital Srinagar is bearing the brunt of River Jhelum, which has breached its embankments in several areas. At many locations, buildings as high as 2 to 3 stories have been submerged underwater. Now, here's a look at places inside the city that are inundated and those that are safe. The Srinagar airport is situated at a height which is why the water hasn't been able to reach it. Thanks to that, the Air Force is still being able to lift supplies to Srinagar. Now, if you look at River Jhelum in Srinagar, it enters Srinagar from Bakshipura in the northwest and crisscrosses the entire length and breadth of the city till it finally exits near Pantha Chowk. Worst affected on its route are Badami Bagh, Sonwar Bagh, Shivpura, Raj Bagh and Press Colony in downtown Srinagar. Now the river, if you see, it surrounds these areas in the form of a loop. Now that the river has been breached, its embankments, because of the floods, both these areas, Shivpura and Raj Bagh, have been completely submerged underwater. Residents of Shivpura and Raj Bagh are being rescued and taken to Comrade Inn. We're also being told that about 150 children are stuck inside Presentation Convent here in Raj Bagh. They've been sending out an SOS to the army and rescue workers. They've been trapped inside the school for almost 3 days now. In fact, TV Today's office is also in Raj Bagh. It's been submerged underwater. And in spite of that, our reporters have been working around the clock tirelessly to get you news updates. Adding to people's worries in Srinagar is the Dal Lake, which is also swelling up, submerging surrounding areas underwater. The historic Lal Chowk, which is the epicenter of all protests, it's also been flooded. There are colonies in Srinagar where rescue teams haven't been able to reach, and there are no details that are available right now about casualties and those who have been injured or displaced. In fact, we'll also get you a weather update in the forecast for the valley. The temperature right now, prediction for the temperature is about 25 degrees Celsius. Humidity levels 45 degrees. Wind speeds expected up to 2 kilometers per hour. But thankfully, no rainfall expected in the region.
Headlines Today has obtained CCTV images of firing at the bungalow of Kareem Morani. Morani, who is a businessman, is a key accused in the 2G scam. In the footage that is dated the 23rd of August, 3 people on a two-wheeler are seen firing in the air. It's suspected that the underworld Don Ravi Pujari may be behind the incident. 2 hours after the firing, Pujari allegedly threatened Morani that the firing was just a trailer. What's surprising is there was no panic in the crowd that was present at the vicinity when the firing took place. The West Bengal police has come out with a list of 11 do's and don'ts for women to ensure they're safe. Right on top is the advice asking women to dress decently, display good behavior and avoid late nights.
The Park Street rape case, Madhyagram and rape of a teenager, Kamduni rape and murder of a college student, Vishwabharati University student from the northeast alleges molestation. West Bengal has recorded worst statistics when it comes to crime against women in the 3 years that Mamata Banerjee has been Chief Minister. And this is how her top cop, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Bidhannagar, plans to prevent crime against women. IPS Officer Kankar Prasad Barui's 11-point guideline includes archaic suggestions such as women must dress decently, they should avoid late nights, be well behaved, avoid travelling in crowded buses and trains, and walk in well-frequented areas. This Facebook post has since been removed from his page. After intense media pressure, the top cop issued a rather meek clarification.
I don't want to hurt anybody. My appeal was, there are some suggestions, appeal from our police side, from Bidhannagar Police Commissionerate. Just I gave some appeals to the common people for their safety and security. This is the main matter of us. We don't want to hurt anybody.
The fact that a top police official has once again blamed women's clothing as a trigger for crime against women goes on to prove the deep sense of patriarchy that is still ingrained in the Indian police system. That's the reason why activists say before we talk about any preventive measures against crime against women, it is important that we sensitize our own police system. With camera person Chitrabhanu Pathak, Indrajit for Headlines Today in Kolkata.
Journalists in Telangana and Tamil Nadu are up in arms against the police and the administration for what they call attempts to curb media freedom. In Telangana, 2 channels that aired adverse reports against the TRS government were blacked out. In Chennai, the cops are facing the heat after allegedly issuing a circular to snoop on journalists.
certain ingredients such as
Telugu television journalist at Telangana IT Minister K.T. Ramarao's press conference, wearing a black band around their mouth. They were protesting against the blacking out of 2 vernacular channels for the last 3 months by cable operators after they had aired programs that showed Telangana politicians in a poor light.
One channel is mistaken, but they already told, they already apologized. But the government is not interfering in the issue, but they are supporting indirectly to the MSOs. It is anti-democratic activity by the government of Telangana.
The media houses believe the cable operators are acting at the TRS government's behest, something the latter denies.
మీరేమైనా తప్పు చేసి ఉంటే ఎంఎస్ఓలకు క్షమాపణ చెప్పుకోండి, వారితో మాట్లాడుకోండి. వారు మీరు ఏం చేసుకుంటారని మీ ఇద్దరికి సంబంధించిన వ్యాపారపరమైన సంబంధం మీ ఇద్దరిది. మీ ఇద్దరు మాట్లాడుకోవాలి, ప్రజలు చూడాలని కోరుకుంటే వాళ్ళు ప్రసారం చేస్తారు, మీరు వద్దనుకుంటే పక్కన పెడతారు.
The journalists staged protests outside the Telangana Chief Minister's residence before they were taken into preventive custody by the police. A similar clash between the media versus those in power is also taking place in Tamil Nadu, with the Chennai Union of Journalists alleging that the city police has appointed special officers to keep tabs on crime reporters working in specific newspapers. It says it is an effort to influence reporters to control the news flow.
To appoint media officers, media in charge officers, these are the direct threat to the freedom of press. There is no need to monitor a journalist activity, journalist duty by police.
The Chennai police has denied any such move, even as the union has complained to the Press Council of India, saying that profiling journalists is an act of intimidation and a threat to free and fair journalism. With T.S. Sudhir in Hyderabad and Srisha Reddy in Chennai, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.